I can suddenly hear the Emperor's thoughts. When everyone was flattering each other, his mind screamed, "You idiot! You're wearing a green hat and still calling him brother." When reviewing memorials, I swear, what's wrong with this governor? Asking me every day if I want mangoes. I'm allergic to mangoes. In the dragon bed, I specially wore an undergarment embroidered with a little dragon today. The Empress will definitely love it when I take it off. He tilde. Me. Don't be this ridiculous. 1. At the palace banquet, after a few cups of wine, I watched the Left Chancellor and Minister of Personnel praise each other. Bored out of my mind, suddenly, a voice rang in my ear. "You fool, you're wearing a green hat and still calling him brother." I froze. Who said that? Besides the maid pouring wine, only Emperor Pei sat beside me. I turned to look at him. Is something wrong, Empress? Pei's expression was cold, every slight lift of his brow carrying innate nobility. I must have misheard. I shook my head slightly, about to speak, when the voice sounded again. "Why is the Empress looking at me all of a sudden? Does she think I look extra handsome today? When will this stupid banquet end? I want to go back and kiss the Empress." It really was him. Surprise flickered in my eyes. "Are you unwell, Empress?" Pei frowned, his voice softening with concern. I opened my mouth. "Nothing. I'm just a little drunk." I had no idea why I could suddenly hear Pei's thoughts. But I decided to keep quiet. Pei nodded expressionlessly and said no more, but I knew he was far calmer than he seemed. The censor took sick leave today. I heard he snuck to a brothel last night and got caught by his wife. Can't even get out of bed. TSK, pathetic, married to a tigress. My Jinnah is gentle, well-behaved, and soft, especially her little waist. I choked on my wine, coughing violently. "Careful, Empress." Pei patted my back gently. I looked at him with a complicated expression. "Thank you, Your Majesty." Why is the Empress looking at me like that? She's acting strange. Did she find out about the beauties the officials offered? I paused while wiping my lips. Pei and I had been childhood sweethearts. After he ascended the throne and made me Empress, he'd taken no concubines, no matter how much the officials pressured him. He'd held out for so long, it would be normal if he wanted to now. What emperor didn't have a harem of 3,000? But I quickly realized I was wrong. Annoying. Why do they keep nagging me to take concubines? Mind your own business. I'm not a breeding horse. I sleep at 3, rise at 5, and still have to read stupid memorials from that governor asking about mangoes. I'm allergic. Am I not human? How could I handle so many women? If I don't take care of myself now, what if the Empress dislikes me later? Should I tell her about the beauties? I want to make her jealous, but I'm scared she'll get mad and ban me from her chamber. My face burned, afraid I'd lose my composure. I said, "Your Majesty, this concubine is tired. I'd like to return." Pei raised an eyebrow. "Tired? I'll go back with you. Finally, I can leave this stupid banquet and go hug and kiss the Empress. I wore a little dragon undergarment today. She's gonna love it." Me. "Don't be this ridiculous." 2. I reminded him the officials were still watching. He frowned slightly. "Then you may rest first. I'll come later." I sighed in relief, but the second I turned, I heard his annoyed thoughts. Can't these people just go home and drink with their wives? Talk. What's there to talk about? Isn't court enough? Stupid banquet, keeping me from holding the Empress. I'm cancelling it next year. Me. 3. I woke up to Pei kissing me. By the time I realized and slapped him, it was too late. I opened my mouth to apologize and heard his thoughts again. Why isn't the Empress saying anything? Did I wake her up and make her angry? Her hands are so soft. Pei stared at my hand, fascinated. I want another slap. Me. Don't be this absurd. I pulled my hand back under the covers. Did Your Majesty finish with the ministers? I also cancelled all unnecessary palace banquets from now on, to save expenses. As he spoke, Pei looked at me with obvious expectation. Now I have more time to stick to the Empress. I'm so awesome. Who's as wise as me? Why isn't the Empress praising me? Praise me, praise me, me. If the Empress won't reward me, I'll just reward myself. How many times should I reward myself tonight? Warm breath fell on my face. I knew exactly what reward he meant. I caught his hand as he undid my undergarment. Your Majesty, I heard the servants talking today. Since you ascended, the people's lives have improved. Everyone calls you a wise ruler. I think so too. Peiyu's eyebrows lifted. You flatter me, Empress. The Empress called me a wise ruler. Happy. In that case, I'll reward myself 7 times. Me, who taught you to reward yourself like that? You want to die. Her lips are so. I'll skip morning court tomorrow. I want to with the Empress. 4. The next morning, I got up holding my waist, rejected Peiyu's request for another round, and sighed disappointedly. Your Majesty, as Emperor, how can you indulge in pleasure all day? You should focus on governing the realm, so you can unify the kingdoms soon. Peiyu stared at me. Does the Empress really mean that? I nodded calmly. Of course, when your Majesty is immortalized in history, this concubine will share the glory. For some reason, Peiyu's mood plummeted. Then I heard his thoughts. Why is the Empress manipulating me? She used to say she loved being with me most. War. Does she not love me anymore? Annoying. What idiot sent this? A woman returned lost money. Why tell me? Do I look free? What's wrong with that governor? I said I'm allergic to mangoes. Is he trying to poison me? I need to investigate him. I quit. I can't read these stupid memorials another day. Why won't the Empress stick to me? No. Tomorrow I'll ask the Imperial Astrologer about our love luck. 5. I never found out if the astrologer's reading was good or bad. I only know he resigned and went home the next day. Soon, a notice for a new astrologer went up. The palace was packed with applicants. I hinted to Peiyu, maybe hire a few concubines while you're at it. My words had barely left my mouth when Peiyu froze. The Empress told me to take concubines. She's tired of me. What should I do? I don't want to live anymore, me. I hadn't expected my words to hit him this hard. I was about to comfort him when his eyes turned sharp. Who's been sneaking behind my back? Is it that guy from the Duke's mansion? They grew up together. I knew he was up to no good, staring at her at the banquet. All those astrologer applicants. Some are good looking. Maybe they seduced my Empress behind my back. Me. 6. Peiyu went crazy on the throne every day. Day 1. He yelled at officials who told him to expand his harem. If they had nothing to do, they could resign and farm. Day 2. He mocked an old minister who'd just taken a concubine, saying he should be ashamed at his age. Day 3. He summoned the mango-loving governor to the capital. The man thought he was getting promoted, only to be forced to eat a whole box of mangoes. He left green in the face. He was on a rampage against everyone, including me. At night, he buried his face in my neck, moody, asking over and over, "Does the Empress dislike me now, me?" He bit my neck, voice aggrieved. "Do all women stop cherishing what they have once they get it, me?" Finally, Peiyu kissed me sullenly. "Empress, I don't want anyone else." 7. But turns out, a man's words are just lies. News that Peiyu had taken a beautiful new concubine spread through the palace. 8. That night, I figured Peiyu wouldn't come. I told the servants to put out the lights and slept early. Until the window opened, he climbed in and kissed me breathless. The Empress is even beautiful when she sleeps. I'm obsessed. Her hands are so soft. Tilda kiss kiss. Her, what's this? Nuzzle Tilda her. What's this? Nuzzle Tilda. Her feet are pretty too. I wanna, me. Don't be this ridiculous. I pulled my foot back in frustration and met his stunned gaze. Why isn't your Majesty with your new beauty? Peiyu's eyes lit up. The Empress knows I took a beauty. Is she jealous? Oh, she still loves me. Should I explain? But she looks so cute when jealous. Fine. I admit I'm greedy. Just this one time, I swear, me. I stared at Peiyu, speechless. How had I never noticed he was such a drama queen before? Peiyu had no idea his thoughts had completely betrayed him. He spoke coolly. I have my reasons for taking her. He glanced at me quickly. Did I sound too cold? Will the Empress be sad? Say you're jealous. Say it and I'll explain right away. Wara, say it. Please. I yawned and pulled the quilt over me. In that case, Your Majesty should sleep too. It wasn't that I didn't want to react, I just knew if he thought I was jealous, I'd never get any sleep that night. Peiyu, he frowned. Empress, I have taken a new beauty. Oh, Peiyu frowned harder. Empress, I find her quite interesting. Oh, his frown could have crushed a fly. Aren't you angry at all? Oh, no. Peiyu, she's not even angry. I'm furious. I'm gonna punish her good. Me. Wait. I suddenly decided I could be angry. 7. Peiyu was right. The new beauty was interesting. She came to pay her respects. A maid asked why she wouldn't kneel. She smiled faintly. Arrogant. All people are equal under heaven. Why should I kneel? The maid was shocked. The beauty looked at her pityingly. You people in this era are so pitiful, willingly being servants. She turned to me. You just had a lucky birth. But I, Ningjiji, kneel only to heaven, earth, and my parents, to no one else. I smiled at her and said nothing. Peiyu had been right. She really was interesting. I hadn't seen someone so recklessly stupid in ages. I even ate 2 extra bowls at lunch. I had to walk it off in the Imperial Garden. 8. By coincidence, Peiyu and the new beauty were there too. As soon as I stepped in, I heard his annoyed thoughts. Is this woman crazy? Making me fly a kite in this heat. I want to chop her legs off. Heard she disrespected the Empress earlier. Talked about equality for all. I worked my whole life to sit above everyone, if everyone's equal. What's the point of being emperor? This idiot made me too embarrassed to face the Empress today. Miss the Empress. Maybe I'll climb into her bed tonight. I already knew he had 2 faces, but I still stumbled slightly. Who's there? Peiyu turned, eyes lighting up. When did the Empress get here? Why's she walking weird? Was I that rough last night? Me, you know exactly what you're like. 9. I rolled my eyes internally. The next second, Ningjiji suddenly dropped her kite and ran to link arms with Peiyu. Peiyu stiffened. He immediately looked up at me. What's wrong with her? Why is she touching me? She's holding my arm. Look, Empress. Look. Slap her. Yell at her. Don't let her touch me. War, I'm contaminated. Me. Peiyu stared at me, practically begging. Why isn't she reacting? War. The new astrologer said her love for me was 5 stars today. He lied. Peiyu couldn't take it anymore. He pulled his arm away. Then smiled tenderly at Ningjiji, tired of flying the kite. Only I saw the deep disgust and impatience in his eyes. You fly it. You stop flying it. Make up your mind. If you weren't useful, I'd have you skinned alive. Can't I be alone with the Empress? Ningjiji glanced at me and smiled sweetly. I'm tired. Let's go back. Veins popped on Peiyu's hands under his robes. All right. Go back where? I haven't even spoken to the Empress. I want to punch you. I can't live like this another day. I clearly saw Ningjiji glance back at me as she clung to Peiyu, a provocative little smile. 10. Peiyu's favor made Ningjiji the talk of the palace. Before long, I heard she'd written an amazing poem called Invitation to Wine. It spread through the capital, making scholars admire her as a prodigy. Boxes of jewels and gifts poured into her chambers. Everyone thought I'd fallen out of favor. My father worried and sent my stepsister to the palace to help me. We weren't blood related, but we were close, so when I heard they'd argued by the lake, I rushed over immediately. You ancients are so delicate. I just pushed you a little. Where I'm from, this is what we call green tea behavior. I didn't know what green tea meant, but I could tell it was an insult. I helped my frail stepsister up. Are you all right? I'm fine. She shook her head and whispered, Sister. Something's wrong with her. I don't think she wrote that poem. Be careful. Of course she didn't write Invitation to Wine. Li Bai did. 11. Ning Zhizhi scoffed. Empress, your sister has her eyes on Pei Yu. What, she doesn't steal him from you? I raised an eyebrow and smiled. Don't you have your eyes on him too? Ning Zhizhi blushed, then lifted her chin and sneered. I'm not like you ancients. I'd never share a man with anyone. I, Ning Zhizhi, want one husband, one wife, for life. You want to be empress? I asked. She shrugged. I just think I deserve the throne more than you. I can give Pei Yu better things. I had no idea where she got that confidence. I helped my sister turn to leave. You can tell Pei Yu that yourself. Ask him to depose me. 12. After that, Ning Zhizhi and I were officially enemies. She couldn't hurt me, so she picked on my stepsister instead. Once she heard she was there to be a concubine, then a maid came running. Ning Zhizhi had pushed my stepsister into the lake. I hurried over and pulled her out. She trembled and whispered in my ear, "Sister, don't be scared, I'm okay. Father planned everything." I held her tight and called for the imperial physician. 13. By the time I changed clothes, Pei Yu was already crying by the door. How could the empress fall into the lake? Useless servants. 3 seconds. If she doesn't wake up, I'll die with her. You'll have no emperor. Fat and useless. I'll execute all of you. War empress. Don't leave me. Me. The physician had probably never seen the cold, stern emperor cry like this. He trembled. Your Majesty, Her Highness is fine. It was the empress's younger sister who fell in. Pei Yu. He turned pale with embarrassment and snapped, I'll execute all of you anyway. I walked over and tugged his hair. Shut up, you're being loud. Pei Yu froze, then threw himself at me, nuzzling me. Jinnah, my heart softened. All right, stop crying. Wara, Your Majesty. People are watching. Wara, stop crying, or I'll kiss you. Pei Yu. Me. 13. Thankfully, my stepsister was unharmed. I sent her back to the general's mansion to recover, then went to the prison to see Ning Zhizhi, the day she pushed my sister into the lake. My father had already memorialized to have her locked in the dungeon. Ning Zhizhi was broken and haggard now, but when she saw me, she lunged like a starved tiger, hatred burning in her eyes. You witch, your sister framed me. You, the mother of the nation, using such cheap tricks. Shameless. I smiled. You couldn't even beat her at her cheap tricks. Ning Zhizhi cursed at me. I looked at her ugly expression and asked suddenly, does Li Bai know you're stealing his poems to cheat people? Ning Zhizhi paled. You're a time traveler too. I wasn't, but a dear friend of mine was. She wasn't as stupid as Ning Zhizhi. She'd left to travel the world long ago. I didn't tell her that. Just as I turned to leave, a cloth suddenly covered my mouth and nose. 14. When I opened my eyes again, a hideous scarred face loomed over me. Long time no see, Miss Rong. I looked at him and smiled faintly. 7th Prince. Pei Lang raised an eyebrow in surprise. I didn't think you'd still remember me. Before I could speak, his eyes filled with hatred. He grabbed my throat, snarling, of course you do. I owe everything I am to you and Pei Yu. I brought down the crown prince, only to lose to a worthless, unloved bastard. I had to ruin my own face just to escape you.